So after 20 years, I finally bought a new mountain bike. I bought a Trek Powerfly. So this is my current bike, 26-inch. I've had it now for 20 years. RockShox forks XTR all the way around. And I would say, like, back in the day, this was top of the line. So I just brought this bike home today and got to ride it a little bit around the neighborhood, and it is super nice. One of the things I was looking at when I was evaluating whether or not I wanted to buy this bike was I looked at the Specialized, I looked at the Giant, I looked at Trek, and then I also looked at all these like brand new, I don't want to say no-name brands, but maybe like startup companies that are trying to make their name in the world of electric bicycles. What I like about Trek is they are supposedly reliable. They have a lifetime warranty on the frame. You know, it's a geared motor, but it's not a transmission. It doesn't have a transmission in it. So it's really just an electric motor connected to a battery with a speed controller. So it's a pretty simple design. The Powerfly 4 that I bought is the cheapest electric mountain bike out of all of the brands. So I'm here out at the National Whitewater Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you've never been here before, it's really, really great for technical rides, tons of trails. Going from a 26-inch that I've had for 20 years to a 29-inch, I'll tell you the first things that jump out really fast are that tire diameter. It really helps you go over bumps so much easier, especially on a downhill when you think you're gonna flip forward or you're going over some large bumps. Definitely helps you get over those. But there's one big drawback I want to point out. With the smaller wheel, you have a lot more control when you're really weaving in and out of like tree roots and stuff. You do sacrifice a little bit of maneuverability by going to the 29-inch wheel. I would say not much. What it does is it forces you to lean more into the turns. Second is, I would say that the brakes, while I criticize them a little bit with just first impressions, I stand by my criticism. I would say that they are adequate brakes. But if you've come from like a high-end XTR, like Shimano XTR, which is what I'm using on my last bike, these are, they're not even Dior. So Dior is sort of the lower end. They are a Tecro brand, which I would say is a pretty low-end brand. The actual brake rotor is good. It's like a 302 millimeter. But the pads, I might put a Shimano pad on the Tecro brakes, or I might just replace the brakes altogether, because now with the sealed systems, they come all sealed up and everything. You just have to bolt them on. It's about $150 upgrade. The tires were good. I did catch on the side here, I did catch quite a few tree roots with little stumps and stuff, because it does extend out to the side. But it's great for cornering, but it does catch on a few things. I was worried I'd pop the tire, but it was fine. As far as the battery, so after 6 miles of riding, I did, it's only gone down 1 notch, and I would say it's more than adequate to go as far as you possibly want to go. I'd say it's really great. That eMTB mode is really the key. I would strongly suggest that nobody buy a electric mountain bike without that mode, where it senses what you need out of it. That mode alone makes the bike. One thing I really wish this bike had was the ability to go above 20 mile an hour. So when you're going down a trail, you're hitting a nice straightaway, you feel that 20 mile an hour hit and the motor just cuts off. Now it'll kind of keep you going to 20, but when you want to go over 20, I wish it could go like 25. These pedals are not great. You can see they've got plastic here. They're basically just, they look like nylon with plastic here. A lot of the better ones have metal or screws or some type of metal poking out, so I'm definitely replacing these. I might actually put the ones from my last bike on here because I think they are even better than this. But I do like how they're nice and wide. They keep your foot from sliding off and getting scraped in the back of the leg. So that's probably something I'm going to upgrade pretty quickly. Also, I noticed that there's 2 bolt holes right here. This is for a kickstand that comes out like this. I don't know if I'm going to put that on there. I like how they include this, so if you want to, you can. You know, it's even unpainted, so it's almost like they really want you to put a kickstand there. So I might actually buy that, just so I don't have to lean it up and worry about it falling over. So anyway, So out of the box, I think the bike is great. I would probably rate it a 9 out of 10. I don't think you really need the full suspension, because when you're really riding hard, you're not, you know, on your rear end. You're on the pedals anyway, so you're using your legs as suspension. I would say it would help. I would say it's not worth the $1,200 just to get that rear suspension. Plus a lot more adjustments and pivot points, things that can start to squeak later on. So overall, I love the bike, and looking forward to doing a few upgrades on it. Namely the brakes, probably the only thing I'm really gonna do. I may look at tubeless tires in the future, but I don't believe that the wheels are tubeless ready, so I'm not wanting to change out my wheels anytime soon. Feel free to leave any questions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. If there's anything you wanna see regarding mountain biking, I'm gonna do more mountain biking. You probably won't see another motorcycle video since I sold my motorcycle. All right, there it is. It's a big bike to fit into a small SUV. You can't put this bike on a hanging mount on the back of your car. You have to have a hitch mount. Plus you can't put this bike on a roof rack either. So really, your only option is either to put it inside the car or on one of those hitch mounts. But you have to also make sure that it's a hitch mount rated for e-bikes. One last thing I didn't mention earlier, if you're wondering how loud the motor is while you're riding, I would say it's actually very quiet. I was very surprised and very happy to hear that there's no whining sound. There's no like gear whining. All right, I'm gonna just see if I can let you hear what the motor sounds like. That's eMTB mode. I was demoing the power.